Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Vivek. In last video we learned React Router DOM. We learned how to create different routes and how to load different components on different routes. So in this video we're gonna learn how to create this front page. This is a simple front page. It contains an image, this logo, this header, this button and this input tag. So let's get right into it. First, we're gonna download Bootstrap and fonts for this website. Search Bootstrap. Click on the first link. Copy this link. Go to your VS Code. Go into the public folder. Open index.html and paste it right above this title. Right above this title, paste this link. And then copy this link and paste this below this first link. So that's how we will integrate Bootstrap in our project. Now let's see what font we will use for this project. I use Google Fonts. Search Google Fonts. Go in here. We're gonna use Ubuntu font for this website. So select this regular 400 style. Copy this link and paste it above the title. Now let's create a different folder for CSS files. Go into the source file, create a folder, styles in the source file and create another file in that styles app.css. Now let's write some code in this file. Select all, make the padding 0 and margin 0. This will remove all the extra padding and margin. Then now let's go into the Google Fonts and copy this line and paste it in here below this. Now let's import this file in app.jsx. Select app.jsx. Right here, import styles/app.css. Now this will import this app.css in this app.jsx. Now when we go and check our websites, font must be changed. Let's delete all this stuff. We are not gonna need it anymore. Delete these two files as well. And let's create another component called landing page.jsx. So this will be specific file for our main front page. In here use shortcut RFC to load up all this code. And for this file create a CSS file called landing page.css. Remember that if we put all the CSS code in one file, then it's gonna be messy. So that's why we are creating different CSS files for different CSS components. For example, we created app.css for app.jsx and we are creating landing page.css for landing page.jsx. So now let's import this CSS file in the component. Import /styles/ landing page.css. So now let's write over here, this is landing page. Let's import this component in app.jsx. Import landing page. Okay, and let's copy this in here. Now this should work. This is landing page. Okay, so this is now working. So now let's give this div a class name, landing page container. Go into the CSS file. Copy this class name and put it over here. Use a dot to select this class. Let's give some styling to this container. First of all, let's set the background color to red to know the boundaries of this landing page container. Now as you can see, this container is only this big, but what we want is that this container should have height of this whole window. So how do we do that? In here, write height is equal to 100 VH and width is equal to 100 WH, VW. So now as you can see, this container has width of the whole window. Now delete this. Create another div called title. This is a shortcut to create a div with a class name called title, like this. So in here we will give a title to our website code call, and let's remove this background color red and give it a background color of this color, FFFBEB. You can copy this color code. Now let's see. Our website should look like this. So now in CSS file, let's select title and give it some styling, padding 5 pixel top and bottom and 60 pixel left and right. This will give it padding. Now font size should be 35 pixel, font weight 500 and color #4C4C4C. Now when we check out our website, it looks like this. It's pretty much similar to this one. Come back to Visual Studio Code. Below this title div, create another div called mid part. Create two divs in this mid part, div left part, div right part. So this left part division will be for this left part, and right part will contain this image. Let's first do left part. Create a div called left part header, and it will contain coding interviews made simple. And below that, create another div called div inputs and button. In here, create a button with class name button btn and create a input with placeholder. Enter the code. So when we check out our website, now it's looking like this. Right in here, start a meet. Now our website should look like this. Now back to VS Code, we will add an image in this right part. To download this image, the link will be given in the description. You can download it from there. When you have downloaded that image, put it in this public folder, interview.png. When you have copied it in the public folder, write the name of that image in this source variable. Now this should load up our image in our website. As you can see, the image has been loaded up, but it's quite big. Let's handle that problem. In VS Code, select image and give it a width of 600 pixel. Now our image should look like this. Now what's happening over here is that these two components are in one line, but what we want is that they are in one row like this. So how do we do that? We're gonna use FlexBox for that. So come back to VS Code. In here, select the mid part and put display is equal to flex. That should give us. Now they are pretty much in one row. Let's add some more styling to it. Padding 5 pixel top bottom, 60 pixel left right. Let's add align items center. This should bring them the center. Let's add display flex to this container as well. Make the flex direction column, and in the display make the flex grow 1. Now we want to add some styling to this coding interviews made simple. So come back to VS Code and in here select this class name. Give it a width of 60%, font size 44 pixel, font weight 600, and color should be similar to this one, hashtag 4C 4C 4C. Now when we check out our website, it's looking pretty much similar to our original website. Now we just need to add some styling to this button and this input. Let's do that. Select this button class name dot button, put a padding of 10 pixel, give it a background color of 4C 4C 4C, and let's see how it's looking. The font color should be white. It's looking good. It's looking good. When we hover over that button, the font gets black. We want it to be white. So how do we do that? Button, hover, color, white. So this should fix it. As you can see, it's working properly. Let's give styling to this input. Dot mid part input, padding 10 pixel, border 2 pixel, solid, hashtag 4C 4C 4C. It's looking good now, but we want these corners to look round like this button. So for that, in here in the input, give the border radius 5 pixel. That should fix that. The corners are round now. Now as you can see, there is no distance between button and the input. To do that, go into the VS Code, give margin left 8 pixel, now it's looking pretty good. But when we look closely, this button and this input are not aligned properly. So to fix that, select this class, put the display flex and make the aligned items center. Now when we check out our website, they're properly aligned, but there is no distance between this and this. So to give that, margin top 20 pixel. So now there will be a lot of distance in between them. This front end is almost finished. Only one thing is remaining. When we check out our original website, when we put something over here, the code, this join button pops up. So we want to implement that in our website as well. So below this input, create a button with class name button and put in here join. In the input, give it a margin to right 8 pixel. Okay, so now it's looking good, but we want to appear it only when there is some changes in this input. Like we want to appear it when we have typed the code. So to do that, first import use state like this and write the statement over here, const join toggle set join toggle is equal to use state, and we will give it a initial value of false. And now we will add an event listener to this input on change handler. Create this function const change handler. Let me explain this to you. Let's log something over here. Input is changing. So let me explain this to you. Whenever we make changes in the input, this change handler will trigger. Everything in this function will execute. While over here, the input is changing will be logged. To check it out, let's try on our website. To use console, click in here, inspect. Click over here and open console. Write something over here and input is changing will print out. So this is working properly. But what we want over here is that whenever change happens, we will set this join toggle to true and join toggle so what's happening over here is that it's checking whether the join toggle is true or not. If it's true, then this will render out, otherwise nothing will render out. So at first it's false, this join toggle is false, that means nothing is being rendered out. But when we change something, this will occur, then it will set the join toggle to true and then this button will appear. So now let's see if it's working or not. It's working. So that's it for today, guys. In the next video, we will learn how to create a connection between two users using peer.js and socket.io. Thank you.